But I'll do it in a minute. We're going to be on live. I'll do it in a minute. We're going to be on live. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Safan. This is Art Matters New York. I'm here with our regular members and Hans Witschi, my co-host. Good morning,
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning from various parts of the country. Um, we all come together to talk about art and to talk about painting, our own work, and the work of our predecessors who still speak to us, which is kind of interesting when you
Here,
think about
here.
it.
Yeah,
Like all that work that we still enjoy, that's still on the walls of museums and private collections everywhere.
yeah.
Um,
Not ours.
not ours, not our private collection. But so today we're going to look at Marcia Jaeger's work, who has been with us since the beginning of uh, this
Of
Zoom,
time. The beginning of time.
the beginning of time.
Marshall time.
And
Since time
then,
immemorial.
yeah, sorry, there's these little gnats that
Oh, so nasty.
I don't know where they're coming from in my painting studio. But maybe, who knows, maybe they're artificiados and I should just let them be. Um, and then we're going to look at the work of John Marin, um, just because I happen to notice him again. And I think in our present climate, there was something very direct and fundamental and that struck me about his work. And it's sort of nice to revisit artists that um, that we don't think about necessarily every day. So, shall we begin?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Wait.
Let me do this. One second. Oh, there we go. Very good. Uh, you can talk while I do this because this is just technical stuff that I'm.
Um, I also did not send you a whole bunch of pictures from my last week's sojourn to the Met, which I will do hopefully for next week. There's a Mexican print show at the Met that was really terrific. Um, and Barbara kind of shamed me into seeing the Sienna exhibit, which is small, um, but it was interesting, but not so much to me. Just from a historical viewpoint, it's 50 years of Renaissance art before the real big stuff came in, well before. So maybe we'll have a chance to see that some other time.
Sounds great.
Mhm.
Sorry about this.
And then I think this Friday, I hope to go to the Guggenheim to see the work of the Orphists.
All right.
ORPHIS. I didn't want to go last Friday because that was the opening, and I figured it would be a mob scene. But I'm hoping to go this Friday.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Um,
Ooh,
okay,
nice. Wow.
so this is the work of Marcia Jaeger. Um, Marcia, do you want to tell us when you did these?
I did
This-
these in this past summer, and I did them from drawings and photos that I had when I was in a little town in the south of France at the end of last year's winter. It was in March. And I guess I'm just searching. I still become too representational. And then I go and I try to do something new and it just doesn't work together. So while thanks to you guys, I'm freer to experiment, but it's just not together yet. And I don't know when it will be, but I think I'm going to leave painting for a bit. And now that the winter is set, and I go into collage or drawing or some other thing, because here it's like half and half. It's half representational and it's half freer. And I just don't think it works.
I like it a lot. I think it's very strong. I like all of the lines are very strong, and I think it's a good move because I think that you have a great talent for architectural,
But it's too disparate. It's too disparate. It's kind of you to say nice words, but it is too disparate. Look at the top part and look at the bottom part. There's just no cohesiveness. And I just didn't know what else to do, so I just left it alone. But what I think is the only thing I can say in my favor is that these tinted grounds on a canvas seem to work better for me than the white canvas.
Right. I can see that now. Yeah.
Yeah, they just
Sure.
do.
Well, that's a nice approach.
It's a less, it
Yeah.
makes me less inhibited.
Yeah.
I'm still very inhibited. I wish I could be as free as Marie and as Phyllis and as Leslie too, but I just can't be, not yet.
We all know artists, people have different ways of working. I mean, there's, you always invoke being free. Okay. I don't see that at all in this piece. I'm not saying I don't see being free at all, but I don't see that critique as being necessarily valid. I think this is a very open and free painting, especially conceptually. The idea of what you're trying to do has a lot of freedom. People work in different ways. There's people that work, very formulaically or systematically or rigorously. And then there are people that just, paint with abandon. There are different ways to do it.
Well, I'm trying to get to painting with abandon.
Well, okay. Well, then you should
feelings.
then why not just take paint and, brushes and load it up with paint, and, I mean, that's not difficult. It's not difficult to do, to pour paint, to scrape it off, to throw your canvas out the window, and let, the elements, there's ways to be free, but that is clearly not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about the things that you like, which are architectural elements, landscape, and actually painting naturalistically. You like that. It's fun. And a lot of people.
I don't know if I do or not.
If I may say something, I find it very playful, the painting. It has a very nice concentration in it. Your architectural sense.
Yeah.
Everything is there. It's frisky and fresh, and I like it. I have to say.
Agree.
It's even how do you say? Like this wave, which could be, I don't know, a river, but it's just it's something a child's play even.
Yes.
It's something wonderful, I think, about it.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
it's a good painting.
I agree.
Well, thank you.
Me too.
Next,
No, wait. We're going to say, I want to say a few more things.
Yeah, we can
few
go
more
next
things.
and then we come back, Mark, that we see what's going.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see the next one and then we can
Okay.
come back. Look at this.
This is great. This
wonderful.
this is interesting. The first thing that hit me was a kind of a Russian folk,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Russian primitive, as
like
primitive.
the Vitebsk, like
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
would just play.
It looks like Russian folk painting
Yeah.
in some way because of the treatment of the landscape, the buildings. There's something very friendly about this. I love the yellow sky. That's crazy.
That's the Blue Rider.
In a way, it's like El Greco, of that town,
Oh,
Yeah.
Sevilla. But it's, he has a black sky, you have a yellow sky. It's all very, very also playful, wonderful, and very dynamic.
The curve of
Marcia.
the curve of the curves generally in the composition, but the curve, which is the horizon against the yellow sky, is really, really effective.
And the sailing boats, the sailing boats in
Yeah.
that there. It just works. I think it's wonderful work, Marshall. I think it was one of the
Marcia,
best work you probably did. I have
My
a feeling.
goodness. I was ready to slash these.
Marcia, this is a wonderful painting. This is I think it's fantastic. I think there's a lot of freedom in it and fun, and it just, I agree with Hans. It works so much. The curve of the horizon with the curve of the waterways and the colors. It's a fabulous painting.
Oh,
It really
God.
is.
And I like the way-
I think so.
And I like the way you are kind of inventing these different ways of assembling the picture and including, for example, the sailboats in this little kind of bubble that, somehow relates to this pastoral landscape, but yet exists in its own environment, its own bubble. And I think that juxtaposing different spatial elements in the same picture plane is actually pretty interesting. It's something that artists have been playing with and experimenting with for a while, and I think that you do it very effectively.
It's like a new Cubism.
Yeah, exactly. It's an idea that came out of Cubism, and you know what? It actually has been going on long before Cubism, because if you go and see the Sienese show at the Met, you see that there are multiple narratives, multiple pictures on the same picture plane, like of a saint, performing some sort of miracle, and you see the before and after on the same picture plane, right? So there's so pictorially, there's the representation of a narrative in time, but on the same. And so you're doing something similar. So that idea has been going on a long time, but I like the way you do it. It's coming out very...
very kind of you. I was ready to slash this one too. I'm not there. I'm not satisfied with it yet, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I would have, now that I look at it more objectively, I probably would have made the horizon line softer.
But why? It's great.
No.
Just the
I
way it
don't know
is. It's
why.
terrific.
It seems so harsh.
Oh, it's great
No,
though.
wonderful.
But look how effective it is. It absolutely feels perfect.
It's about shapes and not
Yes,
atmosphere.
it's all about shapes.
It's not
totally
atmosphere. It's shapes.
Right. That's right.
And it's wonderfully done. It's I think you jumped over your shadow and you can't believe it yet.
I
Like
think
the
you're right.
groundhog, you know, who can see a shadow.
Yeah, that's also.
It's wacky.
I have to laugh about it. It's so beautiful.
I can't believe you're telling me this.
This is great too. These are so much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really a
these are
great
great.
series.
I must tell you that I really didn't labor over them terribly much the way I normally obsess. You know how obsessive I can be. But it was just kind of an exercise in color and shape. And I got some new colors that I tried out. And it
What,
was
the
fun.
turquoise?
Yeah, that turquoise, and I got a different kind of yellow, and
Are these oils?
always, yeah. I really don't care for acrylics, and I
Right.
didn't care for the water-based oils. But I mean, I can certainly see the need for both of those, and some people do it very well. Hans is a case in point, and anyone who works in acrylics successfully is a case in point. I can't do that yet, and I probably never will. I love the viscosity and the lushness of oil painting. There's just nothing like it. It's so sensual and it's so all absorbing. Just to kind of drown in it, it's just wonderful.
Marcia,
I'm
sorry.
Go ahead, Marie.
No, I just want to say, I think that these paintings, excuse me, are really terrific and effective. And what I love about it is when you talk about freedom, to me, this painting is not as effective as the one before. But what I love about it is how you're developing the shapes, and you could tell that you're such a colorist and that you are so good at composition and architecture. And I think these paintings are bringing all of that together like I've never seen before. I think that this is some of really your best work.
Oh God, I'm ready to slash them all to ribbons.
Also, this painting is so interesting because you could see disaster, like let's say, as we saw it in Spain, you know, when everything is tumbled and just, you know, completely. But
Yeah.
it's so very wonderfully, you know, done. It's just in one. It holds together, you know. It's
I agree.
it's not, you know, it does something.
Are you guys on gummies?
It's
Are you guys?
Marcia.
you are jumping.
You are all on gummies.
No, you can't
tell.
believe, you know, that you you did that. You did those this summer, or when was that?
Yes, this summer.
Yeah,
Well,
you see.
a piece of the summer. May was gone, and then the end of August, my son got sick.
Yeah,
so
right.
A piece of the summer.
Yeah. You see, maybe all these pressures you had, you know, in your life, and all did something, had a positive effect on that you loosened up somehow in your painting.
I think I was on gummies.
Maybe you simplified things, which makes it more interesting.
It's very interesting, you know. Things.
I agree with Hans.
Maybe hard times can maybe have on another side of your life completely, you know, does something, you know, which yeah, something also positive, you know. Yeah.
You know,
It's
this painting is also has
Also
very
this is an old one. We saw that. I saw
Yes,
that.
We did?
but
This is an old one.
it's
Oh,
an old
okay.
one, but
But it's a great
Oh.
one. It's nice. It's a very nice one.
I
Yeah, the
reworked it.
horizontal green
Yeah.
is very, very strong, compositionally, structurally.
It's a great,
Uh,
wonderful.
and even the little slight angle,
Mhm.
it isn't perfectly horizontal. It's it's at a bit of a diagonal. Is like a Cézanne trick, that
It's
is
not a
really.
trick. It's the way it's photographed. It's just
Oh,
telescopes. Well,
Mm.
it might be off some, but that
yeah,
was
whatever.
tested.
Whatever.
And the Leaning Tower of Pisa here also.
Yes.
But it's not my intention. It's just the way it's photographed or the way I painted it. I wish it was deliberate. That would have meant that I had a different thought process, but it's not. However, this is
Did you
rework.
enjoy painting these? Because
I
all I
did.
hear is like,
Fetching. Yeah,
how,
all you hear is me complaining.
yeah.
But
I mean, do you enjoy doing this? It looks like you do.
I did. I actually did because the place is a happy place.
So let's
And
hear a
I
little
was
about,
very-
let's hear a little about that. Come on.
It's a happy place with mild weather in the winter, in the dead of winter. And I mean, the crazies go on the beach, and the crazies are usually from Canada, where it's sub-freezing most of the year. But if it's 55 degrees or 60 degrees, those Canadians are out on the beach in bathing suits. So for me, it wasn't beach weather, but it's a happy place. There are no cars.
Did you paint this plein air?
No, I didn't, because I couldn't
So-
take my stuff with me.
So did you paint the? Oh, so you painted this back when you returned.
Yes.
So tell me about the actual painting of this, not about the happy place in the south of France, which is where you were in Collier, right?
Yes,
On-
and I'm
Okay, on the
going back.
Okay.
Uh,
So what I was interested in, if you don't mind, was just about your process in painting this. In other words, what you derived from it. And all painting is challenging, obviously, but there's obviously pleasure too in putting these colors, on the canvas, these hot, beautiful,
Yeah.
oranges and reds. So
This-
what about, can you tell me about that?
There's something just magical that happens for me with color. There's something sort of, it sets off a vibration within my zorch, within my heart, within my being. Colors are just, they sing, and they vibrate one against the other. And they just, there's still so much more secrets to color that I'm not aware of and that I wish I were. But just the simple act of putting down color, it just makes
Yeah.
just makes me happy.
Well, we can see that.
It
We
makes
pick
me
up on that. We feel that.
It makes me happy too.
Oh, well, I'm happy that you're happy, sir.
That's wonderful. The light is gorgeous in this painting. It's so, I can smell the air. I can, it's just.
I wish you could go there, Hans. It's just a wonderful place.
Oh, wow.
We should
That's
all,
awesome.
we should take a class trip there.
That's
It's really
very phallic, this painting, I have
Yes,
to
it
say.
is.
Great.
I'm a widow.
again,
Yes, it is.
again, I love the juxtaposition, of putting all of the well, I was going to say the juxtaposition of the geometric with the the naturalistic, the hills disappearing into further in the picture plane, further away. The little wisps of sailboats relative to this incredibly powerful phallic, as you said, tower. But there's like a lot of interesting ideas in this. I mean, not only in the beauty and the directness of the colors, but there's the way you're playing with space. It's like, you're biting off a lot in these,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
not
see.
easy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I see also like in a way you are mirroring the whole world like in a crystal ball, looking into a crystal ball. Also, the
Yeah.
other paintings, you could
Yeah.
conceive as that, there is a distortion in there,
Right.
which is,
Yeah.
but it's completely about reality. It's not a distortion in that sense. It's just because you look differently at this world as a whole, you get to these results, and they are wonderful. This is also just it's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm
I agree.
speechless. I admit. I
Yeah,
really-
I'm sorry to say that you were you saw.
I didn't finish this, obviously. I just didn't. But there was an element in the park that Antonio Gaudi built.
Mhm.
The park
Alhambra.
Güell, the park Güell, Guell, his patron at that
Oh,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
In Barcelona.
The
yeah.
Sacra, of course. Yeah.
in Barcelona, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's his signature city. And this is the second time I've been there, and I could go back again and again because just walking around there is absorbing a lovely heartbeat of Art Nouveau, of sinuosity, and that's a lousy word, but the sinuous, lovely.
Yes.
I mean, it's so alive. It's so different. And he was called a modernist in his time, but no one has ever duplicated him or approached duplicating him. And yet Sullivan and Gary, well, not so much Gary, but Sullivan and Johnson and some others have been duplicated. This guy never has been. And I dare say Gary might not. Well, Gary has been copied a bit, but nobody ever copied Gaudi successfully or even at all. So this could have used a lot more work, but that's the last thing I did.
So let me ask you something. Was this painted from a photograph?
A photograph and a drawing. From the
So,
photograph, I did a drawing.
yeah,
and
because the reason I ask is because when you have a specific subject in front of you and it's represented in a photograph, you can really get involved in the actual painting, meaning, you can paint in a way how you want to paint. You can get it almost as realistic, within your, within your,
sphere, ability,
yeah,
sphere.
within your, yeah, you can do pretty well. Like this is pretty sophisticated, architecturally, the shadows, you still like, the highly charged colors, which is, your thing. But what I'm saying is that when you go back to these don't have a specific reference. This, for example, it seems like it's more from your, like this, it's more from your imagination. You're sort of assembling the painting. But when you want to, you can paint as, detailed, as specifically, as representationally, naturalistically as you want. It's just
I
how
know
much
that.
time you want to put into it, and if you
Yeah.
have a reference, like a photograph in this case.
But I feel that
So,
I
so I'm just
started-
saying. So all I'm saying is that you can take a painting really as far as you want. In other words, your criticism of yourself in these, well, it's just not painted well enough, blah blah blah, but which is fine because they work. But if you wanted to take it further and paint it more, what's the word? More
Realistically?
realistically, whatever your desire is, you can. And this
Oh,
is
I know I can. It's just that I find it less satisfying to be highly representational than to do a flight of fancy.
okay. But I'm just saying that you can do both.
Yeah. When I was starting to get terribly representational, I lost interest in it
Yeah.
because
Okay.
that's not where the fun is. I don't need to have a representation of a photograph because you don't need an artist to do that.
Well,
can
it
just
depends
have
what
a
kind of
photographer.
artist you are. It depends
Yeah,
what
well, of
who the
course.
artist is. A lot of artists love that and they pull it off and it's great for me.
Yeah, but I think, Marcia, what's really great about you is that you have really studied and worked very hard to leave what you do really well and become, in your words, freer. And I think the paintings we saw today have a lot more imagination and freedom, but you kept what's so great about your artistry. You know, you're a great colorist. You are fabulous with shapes. You know, your compositions are great. So I think that although what Mark's saying is right, is that you are an all-around great artist. For me, I've really enjoyed the journey with you as you've pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone into these new ways of painting. And for me, it's a lot more interesting. Your work's a lot more interesting. And I agree with Hans. I think it's some of the best work that you've had.
I agree.
Well,
And
that's
Mark,
very kind of you, but you know, I don't know what to do. It's very kind of you, certainly, and I thank you for your critiques. But it's a springboard, and it's just given me a little more courage once I am freer. I just hope I can do that going forward. As during the winter time, when it's collage time and drawing time, and I'm going to buy this book from Nancy about Nancy Grossman. And
sorry, you can't
follow
talk
her.
about her anymore. I'm just teasing.
Say what? And just be freer
yeah.
with the landscape. That's where I think I'll be going.
I actually like your work better than I like her work, to be honest. Except for those masks that I know you love. I'm not going to
I
talk
do.
about it.
I
I'm
really
not going
do.
to talk about it on the show. I just want to say, I think that your work has a lot of really interesting elements to it that I haven't seen before. And what I love about it is that you're shaping the perspective and the compositions with your shape and your color, and you're directing the viewer, I think, a lot more effectively than you've done before. And I applaud you.
Well, thank you.
You know, when I look at this painting here, there is a little bit like an unfinished thing.
Yeah.
But the point is, I think it's a great study, and I would not recommend to
Right.
look here. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
There is really
You wouldn't recommend what, Hans?
not
Doing a lot more.
You should basically leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? No, don't do anything. No. You know, even it has a certain feeling of not finished. You know, but I think you know, I like what's going on. It's a very interesting art painting, I have to say. You know, the whole perspective, what's going on with these pillars and what between and the wave, and it's interesting. It's incredibly interesting. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm not going to do anything more to it.
Right. Okay.
Not for now. Not for now. Maybe sometime in the future. Not for now. Thank you all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know, you could, for instance, one of those things, you know, which maybe put a shadow in there only at one of the top.
Oh,
How do you-
absolutely,
Do
absolutely.
you understand as an element? But I wouldn't do it. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I would, but I'm gonna leave it alone for now.
Yeah.
Who
Mark, we jump
Yeah.
further to what?
Well,
What
I was
is-
just gonna
Yeah.
do this. Just wanted to show you something. Let's see. Hold on.
Great work, Marcia.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I think it's
Yeah,
terrific.
I'm
work.
really so
What do you
Terrific work.
excited. It's
what do you
wonderful.
Thank you.
see here?
We see
I
some
s-
green and the painter which paints something.
Okay. So, I just wanted to say relative to your idea of freedom. Like here's a painter that's painting landscape, that's, playing with space. This is Charles Sheeler, who is
Oh,
right.
I figured somebody like that from that era. Yes.
Yeah, it is. And this is his self-portrait. So he's painting, sitting there painting plein air, but he's really like in his studio with painting a black and white painting of a stove,
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
but he's in this completely surreal landscape. So I'm just saying that you could take it as far as you want, and obviously he delights in, painting all of the detail, getting the space right, getting everything right, in this case.
Wow.
So right. So I'm just
The
saying
perspective is dead on.
yeah.
Dead
So
on.
that's something I knew you would appreciate was
Yeah.
his architectural sensibility, but the whole composition and the idea, of course, is really pretty interesting and fun.
Oh, it's fabulous. The
Yeah.
composition is fabulous.
So I'm just saying that equating freedom with, is it's it depends on the artist. It depends on what you want.
Yeah.
And
It has something a little bit of neue Sachlichkeit.
yeah.
Type of thing.
Of what, Hans? Of what?
Neue
Nice.
Sachlichkeit. Well, what is that in English?
The new realism,
Ah,
exactly.
which was a German
Yeah.
move.
So it's I mean it's different to Marcia's work, but I see the point.
No, it's different, but I just wanted
Okay.
to say that there's so many
Look.
different approaches.
Look at the leading line from the top
Mhm.
of the wall, on the very, very top of the painting. And
Mhm.
it just leads your eye, and then it's diverted to the bowl. It leads it down again. It's wonderful.
Right.
It's really, and Sheeler did he just do architectural, industrial landscapes
He did a lot of that, yes. It was, yeah.
and not so much people?
That's right. That's right.
Well,
How
he
do you
certainly
spell
has
his-
his anatomy down pat.
How do you spell his name, his last name?
Sheeler. Charles Sheeler.
And this painting, is it from 1913? What is that?
Yeah,
Here.
around
13,
that.
right?
Yeah,
13?
Yeah, is it
13
13?
or 30.
Can you go to the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
What it says? It's 13, right? Then go
43.
43.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
43.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds,
Okay,
That
okay.
sounds
okay.
right.
43. Sorry. Yeah.
Look at the shadows of the chair. Oh, man, that is so masterful.
I love the shadow of his arm and brush on the
Yep.
painting he's painting.
Yep. Yeah. Very keen eye. And he's got perspective even within the painting itself that he's doing.
Yeah.
And again, the Renaissance technique of the window. This is good. I wonder if he used a T-square. These can't be done with the naked arm, even with a maul. Is it the maul stick? These
Well, he
are-
might have, he's probably, of course, this whole painting was sketched out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It'd be interesting find working drawings
Mhm.
of this, but
Yeah,
I don't know
look
why,
how,
but this reminds me
yeah,
of Norman Rockwell a little
it
bit.
does.
Yeah,
There's
it does.
absolutely a
does.
Norman Rockwell
Yeah.
element.
There's something
But
sweet about-
Rockwell could have been looking at him too.
Oh, I'm
Mm.
sure.
there's actually the painter there looks like a view of Rockwell,
Absolutely.
right?
Oh,
That's the first thing
Rockwell
that,
had a famous self-portrait
yeah.
Mm.
from behind of
Yeah.
him
Right.
painting a canvas, of him painting his
And-
self-portrait,
And with
actually.
the mirror and with
Yeah, and the
the
mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
three views. Yeah.
But there's
Has
something,
anyone ever gone to his museum, the museum up in the Berkshires?
I was just there.
oh,
I went to see an exhibition of the illustration from Mad Magazine. Remember the
Oh,
satire for young guys?
Oh, yeah.
They had a whole show of just Mad Magazine artwork.
Oh, fabulous.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
so
It's
fun.
very expensive to go in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like $20 or I don't know.
No, it's more, I think.
Well, yeah, whatever it was. I don't even remember. Anyway, okay, that's that.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
So we can move on. Let's see. Let's see where I am here. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. Oh, okay.
So are we moving to the
Yeah, we're
what
gonna
did
move.
you say about
But first I have
to
a,
John Marin, or what was his name?
yeah.
Marin. Yeah.
So, but first I have a little quiz, okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. Put your brain on.
That's right. Hold on, here we go. Let's see. Share.
Did
Whoop.
we use Leslie?
Oh, I think we did.
He will come back.
Oh,
What's going on here? Why is
Wow.
who painted that?
Okay, that's the quiz. Who painted this?
Oh, here's
Yeah, smoking. It's wrong. Yeah.
Can you give us a hint?
No,
Could be-
no
I
hints.
don't know. What was that, John, at Ensor?
Looks like an Ensor.
But no,
Oh. Is it an Ensor?
or who? It could be, I
It's
mean,
just right. It's sort of right neck of the
It could-
woods there with Ensor, but it's not.
it
And it
could
may be prior to Ensor.
okay. Yeah, it's hard
It's
to
tricky, and the reason I'm showing it to you is because it's such an unlikely.
It could be also Margaret,
No.
an early
Earlier.
very early Margaret or something,
Earlier.
but not okay.
Gee whiz. Earlier than Marie.
It could be also a German painter, which from the 60s, 70s or so.
Oh.
Like,
Could it be Sheila?
Like,
No, not Sheila. Oh no, what the hell's his name? He did the oh shit. I can't think of his name. Not Mahler. Oh yeah.
the frame is
And the one that did Ecce Homo, Behold the Man. He's a German. George Gross.
Nope.
yeah, it's not the style of George Gross, but
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Okay, everyone's on totally the wrong track.
It's probably Matisse or Renoir.
Close.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
You're
Close
sort
but
of
no
you're
cigar?
sort of in the ballpark and sort of not in the ballpark.
oh.
But at least
Is this
Picasso.
nope.
No.
Kurt Schwitters?
Nope. Shall I tell you who
No,
it is?
this is good. No, say, don't
Picabia.
say it. We have to find out. It's very good.
Picabia.
And now you're just throwing names out that
That's
don't.
right. I am.
Yeah, but that's a good one, pick up. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It almost could be, but it's not painted like Picabia would paint it.
Yeah, that's true. I see it. It's very
Okay.
It's very, yeah. So like, let's look at maybe this will give it.
money.
Is that his signature with the
I don't
ornament?
know. I never noticed that. Let's see. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh, wonderful brushwork.
Yeah, it's
Right.
wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Now you're on track. Wonderful brushwork.
Oh,
Yeah,
Is this a it's not a Cezanne, right?
money.
Cezanne,
Money.
is getting there, kind of.
I thought maybe it was a Cezanne. but-
Renoir, Monet.
Is it the money? Money.
No.
It's a skeleton. Lautrec? Is it Lautrec?
No.
I like that.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, Mark, give us a hint. We can't get it with that.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on.
He did.
I'm trying to think of a very, very oblique hint.
Reference.
Was it Van Gogh?
Yes.
Oh, Leslie.
Leslie! She got surprised.
Really?
Woo-hoo!
He gets the
Amazing.
Van Gogh?
Wow, amazing.
Van Gogh.
No
It's
way.
crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Wild.
very.
Give us a close-up again, Mark, please.
That's amazing. This could be really, it's so amazing. It's like-
Oh, I love the quiz aspect. That we have to make this a regular piece of the show.
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I love the quiz
Right.
aspect. Oh, I think
That's
this is
good.
the most
That's
unlikely.
good. I like that.
The
I can't remember
brushwork.
where I grabbed this from I think from the New York Times, from a article about something. I don't even remember what. And I just thought it was,
it's
such a
wonderful.
surprise.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely something against smoking.
Definitely anti-smoking. No question.
It's great though with the cigarette because it's almost, it's almost comical. It's almost,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
which is not something you'd associate with Van Gogh at all.
No,
That kind
not
of
at all.
satire or that kind of
No,
idea.
yeah.
No, absolutely not. And there was certainly no anti-smoking campaign then.
No,
Everybody
no.
And
No.
it's so not, it's it must be an early
It must be early. Yeah.
because
gotta be
because
early.
he is so he paints like money, or I don't like the style of
Fabulous. Oh, it's
It-
fabulous.
it hasn't have his his strokes, his drawings.
Not yet. Right.
It's amazing.
It was fun.
Funny, Mark, very
Good.
good. Wow.
Good. Okay. Now
Mummy
we're
Dearest. We call this painting Mummy Dearest.
so
Oh, this is definitely Marin. And he painted from on the Jersey side of the bridge.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he painted in
Mhm.
Cliffside Park and in Englewood. Yeah,
It's funny how his work in some regard connects with yours, Marcia.
yeah. I was just thinking of the very same thing.
Yeah.
And that's just a complete coincidence.
Completely. Oh yeah. But his is he did watercolors.
Yeah.
so masterfully.
So also interesting is that I think almost all of these works you're going to see, he paints his own framing devices
Oh,
Mm.
around so you probably nobody even
yeah.
noticed that. You were
Oh,
just
look at
looking
that.
No, I did.
You're right. Oh, look at
So
that.
all of these you're going to see have some form of framing going on, some sort
I
of,
like that.
yeah, which is really, really interesting.
Mark, did he do this on a separate piece of paper?
No, these are all one piece of paper. Well, actually,
Because
this one, it actually looks like, yes, it's paper applied to another piece of paper, but I'm not sure about that, but it looks
no,
like, right?
I couldn't be sure. No, I'm not sure either. He may have taped it down. He
I
may have
think he
put
may
tape,
have, yeah.
and then, well, once you take the tape off, even if it's painter's tape in 1923, it's going to leave a residue, and the watercolor would pick up that flaw.
Well, I don't think it was taped. It looks like that it was,
Maybe it was,
it was glued,
yeah,
to another sheet of paper, and
yeah,
then he painted this frame,
yeah. It's wonderful.
It's sort of a realism, so
Yeah,
weird enough
neorealism.
to give another distance
But
to the thing.
but here's a guy who
It's-
was really doing a lot, like just like you, Marcia, like trying to put it all into one,
Mhm.
image.
Yeah,
So here, he has this, playful but fundamentally naturalistic, everything's in the correct perspective of a town, right? Even like
yeah,
here, even here it says opera house. You can even read it. But up
Mhm.
here, he just has these very bold, abstract strokes with a triangle floating in the sky.
yeah.
Mhm.
These horizontals, which are very abstract, which just,
Mhm. Mhm.
represent, whatever. Look, here's even the Venice little thing you have, Marcia. He's the Venice. You see this where my cursor is?
Where?
You see where my cursor?
I don't see your cursor. Oh, you
See
know
it
what?
here?
Just a
Now
minute.
I'm going down.
Mhm.
That has like the Venice gondola.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Even though I know that's not what it is, but oh,
It's
Oh,
so
man.
weird.
this
Oh,
one is the
man.
one that I think one of the few that doesn't have that device per se, although it has this bottom
Mhm.
edge, which is beautiful. But his drawing was quite nice.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And very spare. A lot is
Mhm.
left to one's imagination. And he goes outside the picture plane on the bottom.
Yeah.
I find that just lovely.
But
Very peaceful drawing.
they were 39, so that
Yeah.
was 39.
And look at all the negative space.
Exactly. This whole space here on
It's
the
so,
right.
and
Sorry.
it works. He's
Mm.
got the concentration is like in an upside down L shape, sort of.
Geez.
But it's a lot of triangles.
Mhm.
One,
I
two,
think
three.
the to pull off a painting that is that kind of one-sided is really,
It's
I mean,
quite
drawing.
remarkable, isn't it?
it is,
Mm.
it really, that empty white space is so powerful on the right, and
Yeah.
that's not easy to do, I think.
No, gosh, no.
It looks easy, it looks effortless on here, but I don't think a lot of drawings pull that off.
You know what's interesting is in that space, it looks like this little detail. You see where my cursor is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
we
looks
see-
like that may have been like an afterthought.
yeah,
Like he added
Yeah.
that because the space was just falling off of the page.
yeah,
But just this little inclusion of this really makes this work. This
Mhm.
little edge here,
Mhm.
that little 45-degree angle, it
Mhm.
really holds it
yeah.
This
in
one-
that space.
yeah.
If this hadn't been here, you can see that whole thing would have just flown off the page.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. But this is a fabulous drawing.
It is.
Really terrific.
Yeah.
I love that element going off the page.
Yeah.
It's so super.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Fun.
wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh my God. Look at how spare that is and how much it says with just a few spatters and a little bit of wash
Mhm, mhm.
and a drawing that holds it all together.
Yeah.
Oh God. You know, watercolors demands a certain hand that I think is like a gift from God. It's so beyond explaining. I think he was a master at this.
Mhm.
Where do you suppose that was done?
I don't know. Oh, here it says,
It was in the 30s.
let's see. 11. I'm saying I'm going to 1911. Is that possible?
Yeah, but where?
Oh, I
It,
don't know.
it
I don't
could,
know where
yeah,
his travels,
it looks like it's some sort of European thing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
unless it's the Flatiron Building. I don't know,
Oh,
but I
no,
don't think it
not.
is. I
I
don't
know
think it
not
is.
because of
Probably European.
the dome on either side of
I
the
thought first it was on 6th Avenue, but
yeah, I did too.
downtown 6th Avenue.
It could have been. Who knows? It could
even
have
with the
been.
dome.
yeah, I know where it could be there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's
Uh,
really,
so
really
yeah,
wonderful.
I
God, I love this painting. Oh my.
Oh, I forgot who painted that, Mark.
Wow.
This is 26.
I like that.
I
I do
like it.
too.
I don't,
I
but
like
it's
the
so lovely.
frame. I like this framing, as I pointed
Yeah,
out before, and the slash, the diagonal. I
yeah.
think it's really interesting. It's a little unnerving,
It's
Yeah,
unnerving. Yeah.
but it's 26. I mean, it's very, very, what's the word?
Avant-garde.
Powerful, expressionistically. It's almost
Mhm.
like a Franz Klein that would come
yeah,
later,
yeah, I like it a lot.
or a something from another
Mhm.
era. I mean,
Yeah,
it's very direct, and I think that was part of why I was moved in a way, and why
Mhm.
by
Mhm.
these painting was because you know it's it struck me as being so kind of authentic,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know,
Elemental.
honest,
Hmm.
direct,
Yeah.
uh, as opposed to our present environment where, of art that's either, very conceptual or very academic or very lost, or identity forward, whatever. But this is painting that just struck me as being very, very direct and responsive to, you know, to what he was looking at and the way he felt about it.
Mhm.
There's a kind of almost, I don't want to say an innocence because it's not naive at all, but just an authenticity that is really missing today in the art world, just because it's so, I don't know, mannered in a way, or
Well, yeah, mannered is the right word.
yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
Marcia, explain.
Mannered, a very considered,
Yeah.
very specific, very tight. Tight, I'm using as a negative term, but very highly specific, very easily identified, and trite.
It means very referential of what came before it, or what, of received information, not information that is motivated by the feelings, emotions, etc., sensibility of the artist.
More
Uh,
empirical,
it's
perhaps.
Well, it's more about, to me, it's more about academic, received knowledge, what is correct. It's a refinement of what already exists.
Mm-hmm.
Mannerism, right? I mean, you could look it up, see what it says.
No, I don't understand why you're saying that. You're saying that in
Because this
today's
is very direct. This to me is
But-
coming out of it's like the artist really responding and just breathing, without any filters almost. Just, the dynamism, the directness, of the material, but also of the world at the
No,
same time.
I'm not
The reference to
asking
the world.
why you like this piece. I like this
Yeah.
piece too. What I'm
Okay.
questioning is why you're saying in today's art world we're not seeing more
Because
direct.
the art world doesn't know where it is anymore. It's everything is okay. So there's like no, artists are so self-conscious today. It's about being self-conscious,
That's
that
Oh,
there's a fear of,
That's-
I don't know, for me anyway.
the fear of being repetitive, the fear of not doing something like only
Well,
known
it has
to
a lot
one's-
to do with commercialism, as well. Artists wanting to be, considered, you know,
what, commercially
within a
viable?
commercial environment, or an academically approved of environment.
That's so fascinating. I mean, do you think it's because so many artists have come before and like
No,
what can
no.
be new, or you think it's
No,
just
it's
Oh boy. Oh, I love this.
Mhm.
And
That's
again, the frame within a frame, or many
yeah,
frames within a
exactly.
frame.
okay? Well,
He uses pattern too, really. He uses
Marie, we'll
pattern.
discuss that. We'll get into that.
I
I
see
mean,
a lot of pattern
you-
in these paintings as well.
yeah.
Mhm.
So again, I think that this was the original paper, and it looks like, don't you think?
Yeah,
And it looks like it was put on a larger piece, and then he painted this. It already had
yeah. I see what you're
these
saying.
diagonal, or
Oh,
whatever.
he's big into diagonals.
But then he added this green, the green frame
Mhm.
on another piece of paper around it. It's
Oh,
really strange. It's interesting.
that to me looks like one piece of paper.
To me,
Oh,
this,
no,
see this
no,
color
no.
change here from here to there?
Mhm.
Where's your
That looks like a separate piece of paper to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
He used to rule in.
It could even be that this is a mat of some sort,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And the green is the edge of the
Mhm.
mat that was laid over.
Mhm.
I don't know. It looks
No,
like he
no,
could
it's
have done a
not,
number of
because not every line is totally straight.
but this looks like a shadow right here.
But Mark, what's the name of that painter which does with broader brush strokes abstract, but it's also like always a window almost.
Hodgkin. Howard
Hodgkin. Yeah,
Hodgkin.
right, exactly,
Who?
That's it, that's interesting,
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
that, Mark,
Maybe
please?
you find
Howard-
something to show one example or so.
You want to do that, Hans? I'll let you.
Howard?
Yeah, I can.
Wait.
Yeah, okay. Okay, because that would be interesting to
Yeah.
Hodgkin.
You do it. I'll go back to this. Just tell me when you want to.
Yeah, go back. I have to
Yeah.
need a couple of minutes.
That's a beauty, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's just an interesting,
I think that's his best one for me. I'm
it's
not
pretty
as,
interesting. I agree.
yeah.
It's
And you notice all the whitey leaves.
That's
He
a-
lets he lets the
Look at
paper
lines.
breathe.
I'm not touching that.
what? He likes to
I
what?
think it's,
The white.
Is there white paint? No.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's paper.
no.
There's a lot of things I really like about this, but I don't love the shape of the frame around it. I think well, in one way, it's really interesting because it's like you're looking into something.
yeah.
Before, like, or it reminds me of looking through a window, like a train
Yes.
window.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that part's interesting, but I don't know. I would love to see it
Yeah.
like without that as
Uh-huh.
well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
I'd love
I
to see it
can
too.
share the. Do you see the paintings here?
Go ahead.
Hodgkin.
You
Oh,
see something?
No,
Oh.
not yet.
yeah, I
You don't.
do.
I do.
I do.
You
Try it
you
again.
see.
them.
Let
I
me
see them.
see. Hold on, I have to.
Oh, my. Oh, this is fabulous.
Oh, now I see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think that's interesting because
Yeah, very.
it
Whoa.
holds everything also together. It's some.
Whoa.
Yes.
You
Yes.
look at this. Yeah,
Oh, I gotta look this guy up.
it's wonderful. So this
He's in
one is.
English. He's English.
Go back to it.
And
Oh,
what's interesting about him is that he's painting right on the frame. So he has a painting that has a picture frame around it, and then the painting is extended right to the frame itself.
really?
Yeah, you'll see if we can get a good image and a close up.
It's kind of a
I
reminds me.
can't.
Oh, my.
Too bad.
I think of Hans Hofmann somehow.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting
Yeah.
to see this thing, to what it's doing, once
15
you.
color screen print. Wow. A 15 color screen. Oh my God.
That's a lot of work.
Oh, it's a lot of work registering that stuff itself.
Right.
A lot of screens.
Nice. Look at
Whoa, whoa.
What is the shape of this? Is it really that long and narrow?
I don't know. I think this is it's hard to gallery. Let's see what we have here.
When did he work? 19?
He's contemporary.
Oh, is he
He's
still
Yeah.
alive?
He seems like a
I
pretty
think he
artist.
is I'm gonna see if he's still alive. I think he is,
I think
but
he
he
is.
may have died just recently. I'm not sure. Let's see. I mean, a few years ago. I'm
I
not
like
sure.
that painting.
Yeah, it shows everywhere. Tate Gallery. Look,
How
Yeah.
big were these pieces?
that's also nice. Look, this piece.
He died. He died in 2017.
Oh, okay.
And how big were these pieces? Does anyone know?
They ranged in size, from large to just,
It doesn't load here the stuff.
no.
Yeah, you see, just I don't know. Maybe it. Well, it's a bit slow. It doesn't. But I think we can check it out and
Yeah.
let's go back to because
Okay.
that's just to give you
Show.
an idea. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This thing,
Oh, man.
Isn't that great?
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
whoever thought you'd want to see a picture of of
Mhm.
a ship, a schooner, but it's so great.
It is great. And he is very strong with diagonals.
He
And this
just
whole-
picks up this kind of crackling energy
Yeah.
of just being, of seeing and being, It's just, I don't know, this new century in a way, and possibilities and light, and I don't know.
I think he did paint plein air.
I'm guessing he did.
I think he
Yeah,
did.
yeah, I think so too. Mhm.
It's really great.
Oh,
I
I've
like
got,
the way that, yeah, I like the way the ship is sort of sitting on the horizon somehow, a
yeah.
horizon, but yet the blue sky starts up here, not at the bottom.
Mhm, mhm.
Right.
It's
It's multi-horizon.
and here's that triangle in the sky again
Yep.
for
Mhm.
some, I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, it seems to be a leitmotif of his.
hmm
Is that God's arrow coming down to wreak havoc in the world?
Mhm, mhm.
You know, here, this to me could look like it's a collage. He paints,
I don't think so.
I know, but the way he paints, it feels like a collage to me. Like the bottom part could be like a separate piece. I don't know.
I would think not because of the white specks of the watercolor paper. You can't fudge
I'm not saying it.
anything.
To me, it feels like a collage. The way he paints
well,
is like
well, I
separate.
understand what you're saying, and
Yeah,
I think that again, he's fusing unlikely elements into the
exactly.
same
Right,
picture,
right.
right? And I
Yeah,
think the reason he does that is to give it a sense of presence, of materiality, of presence, of these sort of, powerful structural elements right there with a naturalistic watercolor, or which gives it a kind of, the collage effect, let's say, of an early cubist
yeah,
collage,
Yeah,
right?
and
Which
yeah.
introduces, materiality,
yeah.
the
Mhm.
real world into the picture plane.
Exactly.
It's also interesting because of this frame thing, he it seems he is painting an object, which is a painting,
Right.
Yeah,
and that gives a feeling of, like let's say, like you, it's not photorealism, but in a way, it could, there is something going on
Yeah.
which makes the whole thing completely different, Then when
Right.
you would just see that thing, you would see that boat and you think it's not bad, but maybe it's
Right.
a little bit boring, But
Yes,
Right.
it becomes completely something else,
exactly.
And,
Absolutely.
and I think that's the interesting part. And that's
Exactly.
why you get this idea it could be, yeah, it could be, I don't know,
Could be like a shadow box. The way he
yeah.
paints is like very dimensional. And
Mhm.
it looks like different materials, although he's not using that. But I think
Yeah.
in a way that's his genius, is he forces you to look at things differently with his borders, his frames, the way he uses
Yeah,
shapes and colors here. It's interesting.
it is.
So in Hodgkin's case, it's different,
Right.
There it's just in a way back and foreground, Here it's because he paints recognizable objects,
Yes.
it's an abstract painter.
Right.
So it has an incredible, great effect, but a completely another function, actually.
Yeah, it's
Than
interesting.
here, yeah. That's a nice piece too,
Yeah, it is. It is.
I like this piece.
I don't like
I
this at all.
I really feel like he's pushing these pieces. That's what into some kind of new present, edgy reality,
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is what I love about these. That they're not just sitting in a comfortable
yeah,
mannerist,
Mhm.
environment. they're
Yeah,
really pushing, like this.
yeah.
Mhm.
But Marie, I like the word you use for some of these, like, some of them do have a real shadow box feeling, even though they're not
Mhm.
they're not all dimensional. You still have that reference, I think, to that, a
Yeah,
little
he's
bit.
interesting painter.
Very.
And this is all watercolor?
Yeah. Well, it looks like maybe gouache too. Who
Yeah.
knows? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I like this one.
This reminds me of Marcia a little.
Mhm.
That powerful diagonal line,
Mm-hmm.
architecture, and he's pushing it.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
I love that brown line or whatever it is. It's so
Yeah.
powerful.
This is very New York. It looks like,
Yeah,
the loading docks, with Wall Street buildings in the background,
yeah.
you know, under those loading docks like in the
Street,
Street,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I really
and then
like
the flagpole here of the signage, that's whatever bean held up on the side of the
there's like
building.
a little there's like a little monster there.
Oh, what is that,
Oh
Leslie? That's
yeah, yeah. I
great.
don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
I actually really like this one though, because I like the ones that are way more chaotic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Just
I think
appeal.
they're better.
Well, all of his work
Yeah.
has that sort of chaos.
Yeah.
Like I like this much better than this one. Yeah.
I still like this one the best. I don't know. There's something that's super appealing. It's like I love that one too.
He was pretty interesting, I must say.
When
That's it.
when was he when was he born?
Um,
Do you know?
let's see. I mean, this painting is from
Oh, okay.
1920. So, let's see. So he was born, wow, he was born in 1870.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy, in New Jersey?
Mhm.
Wow.
Jersey boy.
He died
Amazing.
in 1953.
Mhm. Mhm.
Incredible. Amazing.
Well, thank you for showing us though.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think he sort of, got a whiff of Cubism, that blew over. And I mean, he's definitely American, and has a really American take, a very original, regional American
Yeah,
take, but it was definitely influenced by Cubism.
yep.
Mhm.
Did he know of fame in his lifetime?
I think so. I think he did.
And
Let's
did he
see.
make a living at his work?
Uh,
His stuff is singularly wonderful. The
he
diagonals.
studied at the Art Students League.
Oh my gosh.
So did
He went,
we.
he went, so here it is. He went to Europe in 1905.
Oh, okay.
Like he says, and initially to Paris. He exhibited his work in the Salon. He got his first exposure to modern art, and he traveled through Europe for 6 years,
Mhm.
all over Europe. Um, he held his first one-man exhibition at Stieglitz's 291 Gallery in
Oh,
New York
wow.
City. So
Wow.
yeah, he was introduced to Stieglitz by Edward Steichen.
Oh, gosh.
And he had an association with Stieglitz for 40 years.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my.
Mm.
Two
And
very
financial
famous
support.
photographers.
Stieglitz supported him financially.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
And he showed his work almost every year in one of his galleries from 1909 to 1946. And he was in the 1913 Armory show.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's what it says.
Wow.
No.
So yeah,
No,
he
no,
had
no.
a show
No,
in
no, no,
1936. He had a retrospective at the Museum of Modern Art.
No.
Go on. Oh,
No.
So he had a fair amount of success, obviously.
No. Stop.
Mm.
Stop. Sit down. Sit down.
Beautiful.
I just adore this painting. This
I do
work.
too.
Oh, I love this. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I agree.
That
I
little
agree.
blue monster in the bottom right,
Yeah, that's cool, right?
and then there's a human in the bottom left.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Mhm.
like a lot of humans in here. Like here's one,
Yeah, yeah.
here.
Mhm.
It looks like, kind of a dock, or like South
Yeah,
Street.
yeah. Because
Doesn't
there's the
it?
water on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I think this is masterful.
I mean,
And
look at
this
this.
black
That looks like,
monster thing.
look at this. It looks kind of like a rope with a frayed
Yeah,
bottom here, something.
Mhm. Mhm.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
he's
I
more
mean,
than good.
he was more than pretty good.
Yeah.
He was kind
Yeah,
of great.
yeah. Much more than pretty good.
Yeah,
And it's
much
so
more.
it's so dynamic and so it seems effortless,
Yeah. Very spontaneous.
very. And that's the beauty of watercolor.
That's what struck me about this. It was just so energetic and spontaneous, and I liked the reference of the real world as
Yeah.
opposed to it being a total abstraction.
Yeah,
I liked
Yeah.
that somehow. That
I do
direct.
too. I do too very much.
Yeah. No, he's pretty interesting. Absolutely.
Very.
I love
I
that
love
one.
this too. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you, Mark. That
Yeah,
was
sure.
really great. I
Sure.
love this quiz component. I do love it.
Yeah, Leslie.
yeah.
That was a
There you
surprise.
go.
That should be a regular component.
So
Well-
it's a
And Mark,
work here today, Mark, I think.
Sorry?
Wonderful. Was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Good,
yeah,
good.
that was really,
I
Well,
think you join us next week again. And
And next week you may see the works of Anastasia Samoylova in juxtaposition with Walker Evans' photography at the Met.
Okay.
One-
Sounds
She
we are
great.
very
She is 30 years old and she's in the Met. And her stuff is worth it.
great.
All right.
Okay. On that note, we say goodbye to our viewers.
Thank you.
And
See you all.